Right, welcome to another in-car video, and this time it's featuring the SpyTrack Nano. Now it works with an accompanying application, which is here, and it will send you notifications, which you can see in the top here, and you can see that it's been taken off charge, put on charge. If I take it off charge now, we should get a notification. So I'm charging. The little charge point, by the way, is on the side here. It's covered up, so it's weatherproof to an extent. It's a mini USB charging port. Oh, and there we go, got a vibration there, and it says your charging has gone off. You can see that on the top here, charging on, and you can click into it. Now this is the one thing with the app, you do get that little video come up each and every time it loads, unfortunately. So it's going to find out where the SpyTrack Nano is, and at the minute I am in a field. Now I'm just going to show you around the device. Here we've got I believe it's a SIM card which is screwed down in there behind this flap. Obviously we've got charging on the side, and we've got a power button. That's all you really need to know. And on the front some LEDs telling you what's happening, so GPS, we've got sort of the connection to the network and battery. And it's quite small, as you can see in my hand there. You can put this in a glove box, you can hide this in the car somewhere, you can put it in your boot, you can put it in a bag or in your pocket, and it's fairly lightweight, really not going to notice it's there. And you can do a lot of cool things. I mean, I know it's called, I'm going to mention this in the review, to be calling it a SpyTrack, it does sound, it gives it negative connotations, I think. And to be honest, it's a safety thing. I mean, if I go here, I go into notifications, and you can see here it's going to load the device, and it tells me that I took it off charge, it's put it on charge, and the speed that I was doing when this happened, or the speed that the device was doing when this happened. You can see here that the battery was low. These are all the notifications that it's received from the SpyTrack Nano. Here you can go to the alert settings and you can adjust these. So here's my SpyTrack Nano, and you can set a movement alarm, so it will send a notification to your phone if it moves. And you can also look, and this is where I think it's got positive features, as the speeding alarm. So if I turn the speeding alarm on, it's going to say how fast. Now if you've got a son or a daughter who's just passed a test and you don't really want to see them doing crazy speeds on the motorway, so if I set that to 75, it's going to tell me if they're doing 80 or 90 on the M6, and it's going to notify me. And then when they come home and say, oh, I just took a little slow drive to McDonald's, honest Dad, and you can say, no, you were doing 80 and I know exactly when you were doing it, and I've got the evidence, you know. And okay, yes, you are spying on them to a degree, but it's also for their own safety. So here's some of the alerts. So we've got the speeding alarm, we've got a shake alarm. You can tell it to alert you if the power goes on or off, as you've seen, the charging on or off. That's one that we've got. There's an SOS alarm there, so you've got an SOS function and movement as well. So we can go into the notifications. You can see on history here, I'm just going to have to just double check, and we can see in the last hour where it's been today, yesterday, this week, or custom. So you can see a full historical, all the data points of where that's been, even if it's only updating every so often. So in here, I think in devices, we can set it and how often it's going to be updating. So device settings, you can see here the battery, you can see the altitude, and the how many miles it's done, 185 miles, and there's device settings here. So there's the name of it, and you can give it a special symbol. I've given it a little car symbol, and in here in command you can configure the SpyTrack Nano to some degree. So LED lights, you can turn those off, so you can maybe, if you don't want it revealing the fact that it's there and flashing away and kind of flashing away in a glove box or a bag, you can turn those off. You can turn the heartbeat off as well. So if I turn the LED lights off, the settings will be saved, and you can see here the green light there, it goes away. Oh, actually, let's turn the heartbeat off as well, and it's going to save as well. And look, hopefully in a few seconds all those lights will go off. I don't know how long this is going to take, because the 60 seconds tracking frequency, you can notch that down to 15 seconds if you wish. I'm going to set that to 30 seconds, and it looks like those lights have gone off now. So the settings have taken effect. I'm going to turn them back on though, and you can restart it here if you wish. So that's that done, and close that off. So it's going to tell me every 15 seconds where this device is, or it will do when it's written those settings. We go onto a map here, and we can see where we are now. Let's swish it across. The only thing I find about this app, if I come out of the SpyTrack app and I go back into the SpyTrack app, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes it actually reloads the little video and plays that video again. It's not doing it now, which is a good thing. But yeah, you can see where I am. So click on that, it finds where I am. You can see where I've been. Let's just click on this. Oh, and also you can set geofencing as well. So here you go. By the way, this is if you want to plot your way to the SpyTrack Nano. So because I'm right next to it, this is a bit pointless, but you can go into Google Maps and you can find the best route to get to the SpyTrack Nano. So if it's in a field or if it's in a different town, you don't know necessarily how to get there, just whack Google Maps, it'll plot a route to get there. I've pressed that a few times by accident. So if I press this, okay, it shows where I am, and it shows where the SpyTrack Nano is. Slightly out, but that doesn't really matter too much. I am in a car, and there's a lot of metal around, and my phone GPS and this GPS are giving slightly different, 1 meter apart perhaps, bits of detail. We can click on here, we can change the map. There's various different types of map. Satellite 1, Satellite 2. So let's go on to Satellite number 1, and we can change that. I'm going to be able to do that. There we go. So this will load up, and you can see here I'm in the field. That's where I am. Click on this down here, we can flip it round to get it in proper big widescreen format. As I mentioned, you can set geofencing as well, so that if you put this into a son or daughter's bag, you can basically geofence them so they can't leave a certain area. Really good little tip that. So let's just go into history. I'm just going to pause it while I just find a good bit of history. So this is the history data for this week, and you can see where I've driven, you can see where the SpyTrack Nano has been, you can see on here where I am the most as well, and you can see how granular that data is. Even though it's updating every 15 seconds or every 30 seconds, it actually records each and every bit of your journey, and you can see here that obviously it knows the direction I took, and you can sort of move around. You can even play at a certain speed and see where I went to, and you can, oops, that's a little bit too fast perhaps, so 2 speed, and you can see where I parked. Here's me driving. Let's put it on normal speed. There we go. Now this is obviously with the satellite map, it is a little bit tricky. You can see that's my home address, and you can play that around to your heart's content. So if I zoom out, you can zoom in, you can see where I've been, see which roads I've taken, so that's all very useful information. You've got a top up, so obviously this communicates with your phone via a little SIM card inside of the SpyTrack Nano. Now you need to update and keep that subscription going. They have packages, so you can pay per month. You can pay 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance, 12 months in advance, and the deals get better on based on how many months in advance you buy. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a very nice little gadget, I must admit. Oh, and here, by the way, there's the instant notification settings. You can display the arrows instead of icons, show the tail. So you've got the units here you can set. Now I'm going to put the geofence zones on the map. Geofence zones can be set on the SpyTrack website, so I won't be able to show you a great deal about that here on this app. So you go into map, and you would, unfortunately you can't set it using this app, but you go onto the sort of SpyTrack website, and you can set certain zones. Obviously then, as I was mentioning before, if your son or daughter is going out to playing out on their bike, a scooter, whatever, you can just literally throw this thing in their bag, their backpack, or just put it in their coat pocket and just say, look, just put this in your pocket. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people will want to buy a phone for their son or daughter, but you can always just give them this, and it's just easier to track them all the time. So you can see where they are at all times. You can log in and you can see where they are by this arrow. You can zoom out. I've gone back to the easier to see map, so you can see where I am here, and you can basically click that and go to Google Maps and find them very easily. However, with the geofence, it will alert you if your son or daughter goes out of a certain area. So if you say to them, look, stay on the estate, do not leave the estate, it will notify you if they go out of that estate, out of that area that you've set up. Now, this, depending on how much you actually set the update frequency to, it will last about 10 days on battery, which is really rather good. The one thing I hate doing is finding out that the battery's run out and it won't basically update you anymore. This is going to run for 10 days and it will update you and let you know when the battery is running out as well, which is a really good little thing, and it comes through on your phone. Overall, very simple to understand, very easy to use. It's all, I mean, I actually got this device in a review box, and the review unit here has lost its quick start guide, but I've managed to get going without any problems at all. So as I said, you can basically see, oh, by the way, also, you know, you got the speeding thing. If I go into alert settings here, so you can obviously set the speed. But there's a low battery alarm, which I mentioned just now, but the movement alarm, so you can maybe put this in your car, and you've said to your son, your teenage son who's 18 years old, don't drive my car, I'm going away for the weekend or going on holiday, do not drive my car, you know, I'm giving you the trust. You can put this in your car, and if there's a movement alarm, you know they've used your car. So there's a shake alarm there, so obviously you can put it onto maybe something that, you know, I don't know, let's say you've got a very expensive lawnmower, or you've got even, I don't know, a really nice shed. You could attach this to the lawnmower or the shed, and there's a shake alarm, movement alarm again, so if anybody tries to pinch your lawnmower, that will sort of, and by the way, it will record the location. So that is the SpyTrack Nano. I think I've covered everything. Yeah, SpyTrack Nano. It's available. It's $49.99, and then you've got to pay for a subscription for the actual communication to your phone. But it's a really good solution, and I'm very impressed with it. So yeah, highly recommended from us here at CoolSmartphone.com.